love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world over, but never found a peace that comes from watching my fishies as they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Well, Heidi. Nice to be with you all. I got excitement here. Let's see if we can bring her in. Dina.
Hey, hey, Father Fish, how's it going?
And there he is.
Doing good.
Got a little warm up in the weather down there in Florida.
Oh, it actually was nice today. 75 degrees. I was happy.
I was looking at a video that showed 8 inches of snow on the beach.
Oh, no, the beaches,
On
yeah.
the beach in Florida.
On the-
8 inches of snow on the beach in Florida.
And I missed it. I didn't get any snow. I was so hoping for snow.
Ours finally melted today. Pretty much all gone now, except for the big piles.
Mm.
And it's supposed to be nice through the weekend, so that'll be good.
Oh, that will be nice.
Well, hello, everybody. Christian B is here. And we did a Rodina Winsberry. Who else is here? Cock. Cock is the first person here. Carleon Aquarium. Sailor Ed. John Shane. Julie Keith. Person called Psycho Plant Lady.
Don't know who that is.
Mattis Factory. Kimco. Super 9. Polar Bear. Karen Bearden. Joey. Who else? Rodina Winsberry. Vernon Miles. Looks like Vernon needs a wrench.
Yep.
We got a bunch. Oh, we got a couple of new folks here. Let's see. There's Onyxiel. Was on my fishy friend. Let's get you blue, so you'll be like everybody else, a member of the cult.
That was funny.
Really? We got all look alike, you know. Look alike, talk alike, act alike.
And all of us love our little fishies.
Right. That's why they call us a shoal.
Right?
Mercy. I guess that was somebody in your.
Yep, he was in mine.
Was
So I went
Vernon.
ahead and gave him a wrench.
Yeah, Vernon Miles. Hello, Vernon.
Hi.
Cecil Mayberry. John Shane. And Holy Seal, we got you. Rodina, we got. Branton Lightcap. Vernon Miles, Karen Bearden. I'm saying names twice here. Darwire's here. Hello, Darwire. What's the smallest fish that's bitten me?
That's a good question.
The smallest fish that's bitten. Gee whiz. I don't know the smallest. It depends on whether you're talking about cleaning out my nails, taking a bite out of my flesh. If you're talking about an actual bite, it would probably be a Malawi cichlid, like 2 to 3 inch Malawi cichlid.
I would have
Oh,
never have thought of a
there are
cichlid biting
tetras.
somebody.
Pardon?
I would have never have thought of a cichlid biting someone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Half the time just looking for food. Who's this? UL trout fisherman. Is that you or me? It's me.
That's on you. Hmm.
It's me. By the by, it turns out all that effort we put in to get Dina up to 1,000 was made moot by YouTube when they lowered the requirement to 500.
Yeah, I'm glad you found it because I didn't get any notifications. And I still can't monetize yet because I've got to work on getting my watch hours up. But I finally have enough subscribers.
Right. Strange stuff. Yeah, they keep changing it. How many watch hours is it now?
3,000.
Yeah, it was 4 when I
Mhm.
got my eligibility. Electric Blue Akara and German Ram attack my tweezers every time I put them in the tank. I was talking to somebody about that. Um, and they had Rios, I think, were hitting their tweezers and they were getting fungus on the mouth.
Oh no.
They were hitting it so hard they were injuring themselves.
Mm.
Crying aquariums. Hello, hello. No tears here. We don't allow no tears in here. Pierre. Father, Padre Poisson. Je t'aime. Ça va bien. There we go. Get you a wrench.
I'm getting Dusty Steel on my channel of wrench too.
Bunch of new people.
Yeah,
Oh,
there is.
I am so tired.
Mm.
This winter is dragging me down. I was telling my staff today, they're going to get me out and start putting me through my paces, or I'm not going to make it through the winter. I'm to the point where I can't walk right.
Mm.
I'm walking, so as hard as I try not to shuffle, I'm stumbling,
Mm.
and my legs hurt because I'm not doing enough.
And with as cold as it's been in your area,
Oh man,
ooh, I couldn't imagine how painful that cold is.
yeah, that's the problem. Let's see. Carleon has a question about a female jaguar cichlid. After she laid the eggs, it came out, but how do I call it in English? The anus is really big. There's fluid coming out. It's the ovipositor, and I wouldn't worry about it. It's amniotic fluid.
Mm.
It's perfectly normal. People worry about everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the secret. There's a secret. I need to do a video on this. There's a secret to the Natural Aquarium. Uh, HHD says D3 vitamins are said to help with winter blues. I think I do D3, I'm pretty sure. That's why I'm always so chipper, like a wood chipper. Um, The Secret. Here's Ricky Frith and Taylor Kelly, two more newbies, and both of them are on me. Let's get you guys some wrenches. Now, you're going to get wrenched tonight,
Mhm.
but if you don't subscribe to Father Fish or to Dina,
Mhm.
when you come back, your wrench will be gone. Because you
Yep.
have
And
to
there's
be subscribed to keep it. So make sure you get over there and register.
Mhm.
Guppy and Molly hybrids, no such thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
There is no such thing. You may think that's what you have. That is not what you have. What is this? Carly, say really big and no. What is he talking about? Female jaguar secular. Huh? I don't know. I don't get any of that. They lay
Uh,
eggs.
I'm gonna look and see. Maybe there's a past comment.
Well, he's talking about the jaguar laying eggs,
Hmm.
and there's fluid coming out of the ovipositor, which would be amniotic fluid. I mean, it's the fluid surrounding the egg, so that would not be abnormal,
Hmm.
particularly. I'm having trouble keeping my train of thought. Where are we here? Craig's Catfish Cave. The secret to a natural aquarium. And I've never mentioned it before, not per se, not as the secret. And I've never really emphasized it. Well, I have at times, but I've never made it a condition of your ability to maintain. Well, maybe I have, actually. The secret to maintaining a natural aquarium. Ooh, it's a real secret. It really is. It actually is a secret. It actually is. It's a secret. And because it's a secret, I can't tell you what it is.
You gotta make us a video and tell us.
I'm gonna anyway. I'm gonna. He's gonna tell you guys. You know he's gonna tell you. You know that, don't you? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. The secret to maintaining a natural aquarium. It's the one thing that some people find impossible to do. Most people find it somewhat problematic, and very rarely is there anyone who has no trouble with it at all. For one of two reasons. They're either very smart and really on top of their game, or they're utterly witless and don't understand a thing about a thing. Both know the secret to the natural aquarium. Is that a good hint? That's not a good hint.
I think it's a pretty good hint. I think I know where you're going with this. I think I know what the secret is.
Ah, you want to try it?
I'll try it. Is
Sure.
it Is it not worrying and just allowing the tank to do its thing?
Yeah, except it's more intense than that.
Yeah.
It's to surrender any concern at all for what is going on
Mhm.
and simply observe, which is, you see, to take a scientific approach,
Mhm.
because the scientific approach is very withdrawn. I mean, from a personal perspective, it's very withdrawn. The scientist has no emotional attachment
Mm.
to what's going on in the experiment. He's
Mhm.
simply observing what it is. Now, I'm not recommending that.
Mhm.
I absolutely am not. I mean, I care about what's happening in my tanks, and when I see a problem, try to figure out what it is so I can deal with it. You know, I'm on the lookout all the time. If there's something wrong with a fish, one fish out of 100 in a tank, my eyes will go directly to it instantly. So I'm drawn to problems. What I don't do is I don't become hysterical about it.
Mhm.
So it's not a matter of not caring, and it's not a matter of of not getting involved in doing something. It's a matter of, I don't even know how to say it. It's a matter of taking a measured approach, of realizing that you really don't know what's going on until you look at it and study it carefully. And I guess you come to this by leaping into the breach so many times and screwing up because you're wrong so many times that you get leery of doing that. And you stand back and say, well, I know I could jump right in and throw a cup full of salt in there and raise the temperature to 90 degrees and do a 50% water change and put a power filter on it and throw some meds in. I could do all of that, but I'm not going to do any of that because I don't really know what's wrong. So, how do you figure out what's wrong? Well, that's what observation is. Observation is studying and looking at it long enough, and you ought to put a stopwatch on that. I mean, if you have a tendency to leap into things,
Mhm.
don't do anything for the first 15 minutes. Nothing. Just watch it, look at it, observe it. 15 minutes. No fish that's sick is going to die in 15 minutes. But in 15 minutes, you might get a better handle on what's going on. So maybe the key is patience,
Mhm.
being patient with yourself. Whatever it is a secret to fish people, and especially to the Natural Aquarium,
Mhm.
because there are things going on in there all the time
Mhm.
that cause panic.
Mhm.
What's all this white stuff growing all over everything? It's yucky and it's killing everything. It's mean and it's cruel and it's gonna make everything die, isn't it? To which my response is, no, it's food. It's natural food. It's
Mhm.
fungus. Do you like mushrooms? It's mushrooms. It's fish mushrooms.
Mhm.
And fish really, really like mushrooms.
Love it.
So yeah, I mean that's really a pretty good example because that's something that causes absolute panic. Oh my God, look at it. Martha, it's turning white. Martha, what's wrong? What did you throw in that tank, Martha? Martha, you've been messing with my fish again. I told you to leave my fish alone. I don't do a thing to your fish, Henry. I don't touch your fish. I don't go near your fish. I don't even like your fish. Keep your fish to yourself, Henry. No, now, Martha, don't be that way. You know how much I love my little fishies. Father Fish told me so. He told me to love my little fishies, and I do. But Martha, there's something growing in there. Look at that. Look what is that? I don't want to look at it, Henry. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want open your eyes. Open your eyes. Please, please, Mark, please look at it. You know better than me about these things. Just look. All right, Henry. I'll look at it. Ooh, ooh, look at that. Look at that, Henry. There are little bugs running around. Look at that. Little bugs running. Bugs, they're bugs in my thing. Bugs I got now. Oh, Martha, I don't know. I can't stand this. First it's first it's white fluffy stuff growing. Now it's bugs. What am I gonna do? I know what I'll do. I'll call Father Fish. Hello. It's Father Fish. This is Father Fish. Father Fish, I have bugs in my fungus. Henry. How blessed you are. Truly, Mother Nature has touched your tank with her golden hand and filled it, mind you, filled it with life that is abundant. Henry, I knew you could do it. Oh, Father Fish, I feel better already. Oh, it is so good to talk to you, Father Fish. Because when I talk to you, I always, Martha, come over here. This is Father Fish. I know, Father Fish. I know. Hello, Father Fish. Hi, Martha. How are you, Martha? I'm good, Father Fish. I just try to keep Henry calm down. So Henry is doing fine. He's doing just fine. He has an abundant aquarium. Henry, love your little fishies. Love your little fishies. Bye for now.
That would make a really good. Remember the Father Fish cartoon you did a while back? That would make a really good skit for that.
I need to get Karan on it. That was fun. We got almost 0 views on that.
Really?
It was astounding. I think they're today. That's 2 years old. Probably doesn't have 500 views.
Wow.
And it was the most expensive thing I ever did.
Man,
It
that's
cost me,
horrible.
it cost about $5,000 to produce that. It was very
Wow.
expensive,
Yeah, that is.
and it was worth the zip. And it's brilliant. It's
Yeah, it
beautiful.
was. It's well done.
Nobody watches
Mm,
YouTube. YouTube doesn't know what to do with it.
mm-mm.
That's the problem with YouTube. They've got this AI running YouTube, that has the intelligence of a dung beetle.
Right? That's the best way I've heard it put.
It knows how to roll shit around,
Right?
but that's about all the good it is. And it does that extremely well.
Yeah.
It gave me a warning. No, a warning that's kind of a big thing.
It
You
is.
get 2 warnings, that's a strike.
Mm-hmm.
I got a warning. And the warning was because I showed about a 3 or 4 second clip
Mm-hmm.
of a fish in a creek diving into the bottom of the creek. That was it. 3 seconds. But it showed abuse of animals. That's what
That's
AI said.
insane.
And I got a live person finally. It took me days. I got a live person. And he went back and he looked at it and he said, "Yep, that's right. AI said it's abuse. It's abuse." They they they're they don't evaluate their systems. They're slaves to them. They're utterly enslaved by them. And it's it's I don't want to get going on YouTube. It becomes little more than a whipping boy. We're going to pray to Donald Trump now. Dear Don, deal with this YouTube thing. Won't you please put it on your list? Deal with it. We're tired of dealing with it. We need you to deal with it. Deal with it, Don. Please deal with it. Thank you, Don.
Hey, look.
And you know he gonna do it. Gary, try not to keep snails in the middle of pier. Yeah, it's like the mirror image of old man's beard.
Mm-hmm.
Old man's beard pops up. It just all of a sudden one day, what's that black stuff? That's old man's beard. It's an algae. Some people say that they figured out how to deal with it. They call it a fern. They say it's a fern. It's moss. It's moss, which makes it somehow better. It's moss. Look at the moss growing all over. It's dark, beautiful moss. Now here's the trick with it though. You can't get rid of these snails, but you can get rid of the moss because the moss is psychic. You see, it is actually. It knows. It's not only psychic, it is perverse. Like the snails, they're perverse too. But the moss is perverse and it's perverse in its perversity. It is double perverse. It pops up because it's looking for people to say, "Ew, what's that? Ew, that's ugly. Ew, how can I get rid of that? Ew, look, it's growing all over the edges of my tanks and on my wood. And everything is ew." And so it likes to be hated. It's perverse, you see. So it gets bigger and it gets stronger, and grows more. Except that as it gets bigger and stronger, and the hobbyist realizes you can't control it. I mean, it's just, I scrape it off, it comes right back. So they stop scraping it, they just kind of watch it. I mean, it's not big, it's not like it's filling the tank, it's just growing like fur on stuff. It's like fur. like moss. Oh, moss. It's moss. Moss. Ain't no damn moss. Ain't no moss. I want a little algae. Sure, I could. Ugly. Ugly. Algae. Yes. Moss. Ain't no moss. 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 Ain't no moss. Not me. Ain't no moss. I won't be no moss. Ain't no moss. Ain't no moss. No moss. No, no. Ain't no moss. No, no, no. Oh, moss. Moss. Look, it's Martha. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at my moss. Pretty here. Ain't no. Look, think I'm pretty. That's no. I go crawl up and die. Fix you. Just die and go away. And that's how you get rid of it.
You just gotta love it and then it leaves.
Love it to death. Right?
Mhm.
Oh, glory. Greg's catfish had one piece of wood that had BB cleaned it, bleached it in peroxide, left it in the sun for 6 months, chucked it in another that grew right back, scrubbed out of it. You know how, me, I ended up chucking it. All you had to do is like it. Really, just decide, hey, you're a creature of nature. I accept you as a creature of nature. You ain't no creature of nature. And me, I'm perverse. I don't like all that like stuff. You know any people like that?
Yeah.
Hate to be liked. Hate to be liked. Don't ever want to like them because they'll go, hey, don't like me. I don't like me. You don't like me. I don't like to be liked. Actually, I don't know anybody like that. I don't think I do. I don't think I've ever met it. I've met people who didn't like other people a lot,
Yeah.
or like any other people,
Mm-hmm.
but they were pretty much in love with themselves. At least they thought they were. I don't know. Maybe really what they were disliking was themselves.
Yeah.
It's all too deep for me. Jason Rideout, been following devoutly since around Christmas. I watch like 4 videos a day. So much to learn, but I feel this is the exact place to be. Oh, poor soul. Poor soul. Jason Rideout. Thank you, Jason. We're gonna deal with Jason here now. Jason needs to turn blue.
Yep. He needs a
And
wrench.
moderator, you have a wrench, Jason.
Mm.
Good man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What else is going on? The Discord is beyond helpful. Now, what does that mean, beyond helpful? Beyond helpful. That's a strange expression. Beyond helpful. What is what precisely would beyond helpful be?
Extremely helpful.
More than helpful.
Mm-hmm.
More than helpful. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What?
We, we need to do an intervention. Jason has, he thinks he's joined a cult here. I mean, that which is beyond helpful is salvation. And that's what cults offer. They offer, so we don't offer salvation. Well, we do. Actually. We do. I got to be honest. We do. Salvation from the madness. The madness of the mad scientist pouring. I got to pour some of this in, some of that in. Give me that.
Yeah.
Pour some of that in. What's that over there? Throw that. Throw a little of that in there. What do you got? What else we got? What else can we put in here, Matilda? Give me something to throw in this thing. We gotta fix it. Fix it. Oh, that's the secret. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do any of that. You sit back and you watch it and you appreciate it and you come to understand. Ah, we got popcorn. That's cool. Time Larachi. Tom Larachi has a box of popcorn. That is so cool. I never.
That is.
That is cool. Guys, that helped me more than I expected. Jason says. Well, poor Jason. Jason. Can you slow down, Val? True question. Yeah, you can slow it down. Um, you slow it down by yanking it out by the root, cutting off the roots and sticking it back down. That'll slow it down. You
That
can
would.
trim it down to the nub. That'll slow it down. You want to slow it down without messing with it.
Mhm.
I know your game. Well, the only reason it's growing crazily is because your substrate is so rich and full of nutrients that it just really has no choice. So you could mess up your tank. You could throw some chemicals in it. I tell you what'll work. Well, you slow it down real good. Dump like a cup of salt in it per gallon of water.
No,
That'll
that's swallowed all right.
that'll slow it way down. Slow it down. Uh, Doom pie. Val, Harry says Val has genuinely become scary. It is amazing. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I like the the 25-year-old tank, Old Faithful.
Hmm.
I've been ignoring it now for a couple of months because I've been thinking about bringing it over here and then thinking about redoing it. Just thinking about all this stuff, not doing anything. I've got a couple of angels in there, little ones, nice ones, and a couple of what are they, chromides, a couple of little chromides. There's probably some other stuff in there too. The plants have gotten to the point where the angels have been pushed to a little tiny space and they can't get out of it. They're trapped.
Oh no!
They're trapped by the plants. And they can
Wow.
fight their way through. But it'd be like going through a thick jungle.
Oh
There's no
yeah.
escape here. So I gotta get in there and deal with it. Gotta have to do something. So yeah, it's true. And that's Val. That's mainly what's doing it is Val. There's some other stuff, but primarily Val. Welly. Hello. Stan the Observer. Why do you think so many aquarists won't keep fish in scale with the size of the aquarium? One of the biggest mistakes. I think that it's a very legitimate question. And I think the reason is really quite simple. Um, there is we don't teach it. We really don't. There is no sense in which we have any kind of body of knowledge that relates to the specific issue you're raising, which is the issue of scale. And to tell you frankly, I think what we know about scale is all over the map. I mean, for example, the obvious example is bettas. And there are those who are absolutely convinced that the bigger the tank, the better it is for a betta. They would put a betta in a 500-gallon tank, one betta, and feel like it was perfectly at home because look, it's swimming freely everywhere. Never mind, it's in an absolute panic trying to figure out how to hide
Mm-hmm.
from the nearest big predator that has got to be around. I mean, it is, fish don't really fear, but they do react. And it's, if you treat that as fear, then that fish is in abject fear of its life because it's in an environment that is so big and so overwhelming that it simply has no way to cope with it. And so it darts. Oh, look, Martha, look how it's swimming everywhere. It loves the big tank. Oh, Martha, it's wonderful. I bet it's swimming everywhere. He's so happy. He's panic stricken. Panic.
Right?
Gonna die of a heart attack, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling him how happy he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of the problem goes in the other direction. And that's keeping 1 inch of fish in a gallon of water.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good until the fish gets to be 3, 4, 5, 6 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
And you're keeping a 3, 4, 5, 6 inch fish in 3, 4, 5, 6 gallons of water.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the rule says. The rule says 1 inch of fish per gallon. I got a 10-inch Oscar. I only need a 10-gallon tank. That's insane. That's a scale issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty obvious one, and not many people really do that. Although I know those who have. Not going to name names because it's close to home. But I remember an 8-inch Oscar in the 10-gallon tank, and it lived there until it died, and it took about a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that problem too. I think the reality is we really don't know anything about scale. And here's the problem. You take a pair of fish, male and a female. What's a good example? Electric blue acaras, pretty little fish. They get 3 to 4 inches. We tend to keep them in 20 or larger tanks, 20-gallon tank. But then if we want to take them out of that and breed them, the best way to breed them is in a 10-gallon tank. Because they're secure. If we set it up naturally with plants and whatnot, some hardscape,
Mm-hmm.
they will be absolutely delighted to be in there because they are all by themselves. They got nobody else to worry about. They can pay attention to each other. They can do their thing, lay their eggs, even hatch them, and start raising their babies. So there's a 3-inch fish, 2 of them, in fact, in a 10-gallon tank. That would seem to be counterintuitive. So I guess what I'm saying is the issue of scale is it's really not an easy one to decipher. One of the most spectacular tanks I've ever seen was a 500-gallon tank with 1,000 neons.
Wow.
Bare tank, wide open tank. Now, neons swim in open water in big schools. So they don't mind that because the school protects them from predation. Not every single one of them, but it protects the school from predation. So they're swimming around in huge schools in open water. So you've got 1,000 of them, a big school of them, in a really big tank, and it is spectacular. That's 1,000 1-inch fish in like a 500-gallon tank. So that the rule is obviously meaningless.
Right?
You've now increased the inches per gallon, but you've decreased the size of the individual. I routinely keep among my little fish like neons, other smaller tetras, even guppies. I routinely keep 50 to 100 in a 10-gallon tank, and they're perfectly healthy. Perfectly healthy, perfectly happy. Nothing wrong at all. They do remarkably well. I don't know how to deal with the issue of scale. And I don't know anyone who does, because it doesn't fit a hard and fast rule. There is no hard and fast rule for it. It's dependent entirely on the nature of the fish, the nature of the environment, just all of the variables, the quality of the water, the quality of the food. I mean, everything is a variable, and everything affects it. Stan the Observer. Great question, Stan. Do appreciate it. Let's see. Neil needs to get a wrench here.
And I just gave Craig's Catfish Cave a wrench.
Catfish Cave. Oh, he just came over to the channel. Fish Keeping with Matt. I sent two of them. I sent 4 blue acaras. They were in my 40, one of my 40s. They've been in there for months with a bunch of other fish. Sent 4 of them home with one of my employees who wanted to breed them. She took them home yesterday, Tuesday. She called me this morning. She said, the acaras have spawned. I've got 1,000 eggs.
Wow.
One day. One day
Wow.
in a tank by themselves with no competition. One day they spawned. Boggles the brain.
Yeah, it does.
So she's going to bring them back
Mm-hmm.
and hatch out the babies and raise the babies in the tank. It's a big tank. So
Definitely look forward to seeing the video on that.
yeah, that'll be fun, won't it?
Yeah, well.
So we now have a breeding pair. I think it was 2 actually. By the way, we did get apistos. We're getting apistos this week. Apistos are finally showing up. I will have 3 species of apisto by Friday.
Wow.
Agassiz, McMasteri. I don't know what the other one is. I don't remember. Jason Rano. I came in having done a failed commercial store setup with the glow products, and it all failed as expected, being new to fish. But since following, I was able to save the last 3 fish. Dooby-doo. Dooby-doo. Oh, thank you, Lou, genuinely. And you is really testament to your system. Substrate's done. Got my soil and Father Fish stem plant Friday. Come Sunday, my baby's gotta go home. You bet. I have one tank that steadily decreases in TDs while all my others increase. That's interesting. Total is all solids. Well, you're doing something different. Oh, there obviously is something different. It's normal if you're not feeding and you're not putting like food web material in the tank and you're heavily sand capped, TDS should go down because the plants are going to pull minerals out of the water. Feeding, food web, even something like a cichlid digging up a little hole in the corner and releasing some soil. Anything like that will replace TDS. It'll replace the solids in the water. You want that. You want the solids to be replaced. If they're not being, then the tank is going to tend to become less and less dense. Now, it's not necessarily going to drop pH because pH is a function of carbonate specifically and not mineral content in general. You can have a very low TDS and still have a high pH if the carbonates are in there and at an adequate level. I would try to figure out what's the difference. There's obviously a difference. And I'll be interested to know what you discovered.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know. And just a reminder to everyone, I'm just curious. It is show and tell. We haven't had anyone come up yet. I had a lot of trouble getting into StreamYard today, and I'm curious if anybody else had the same trouble.
Yeah, it is odd nobody's come up.
Yeah. I'm thinking they may have had the same problem I had because it took me, 20 minutes to get in?
Night Erie, nice to have you with us.
Mm-hmm.
Erie made a very nice comment on one of the videos about how he appreciated the welcome back Cotter.
That's good.
Well, there's Ed. He made it.
Hey, it does work.
Somebody made it.
I just had to try. Yeah, it works.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm fair. I just wanted to see if it would work, so I just had to try.
Hey, appreciate you checking it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't have. How are you? I'm fair. I just wanted to see if it would work, so I just had to try. Yeah. So I'm out.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Dad.
Bye.
Appreciate
Y'all.
you. Funny. Ooh.
I'm going to be doing an interesting experiment, Father Fish.
Yeah.
I'm working
Lala
on
wants.
growing.
Go
What?
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, Lala wants to send a picture.
Oh.
You need to come up and show us,
Mm-hmm.
Lala.
Yeah, click on the pin link and come up.
So what you got, Dana?
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of growing sweet potato slips.
I have.
You have? Awesome. Well, that's what I want to actually try growing in a small fish tank just to see how it does. Maybe a fish bowl or something just to test it out. Got a
Ooh.
few of them that I've actually got.
Dilpai said, Lala, you can click the pinned comment and show your tank live
Mm-hmm.
with your phone. Um, oh, do you have, can you show us a picture of the swamp?
Actually, yeah, I think
Can you?
so. It might take me just a second. I have to upload it real quick. It won't let me upload a ping file. That's weird.
Just open it.
Yeah, it won't let me open it in StreamYard. Let me try sending it
No,
over
no,
to my
no,
phone.
don't do it that way. Open it in a separate screen.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I can do it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, and then I gotta redo this stuff. Is that share screen?
Well, that works. And I got a few more swamp tank designs coming too. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
These are neat.
Thanks.
Swamp Life. True Freedom by Father Fish. I love it.
Freedom from all the chemicals and
Yeah,
stress.
I think that one's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, that one turned out really good. The two below it, I like those too, but I kind of wanted to take my iPad and actually make a sun rays or something coming out. I've just got to figure out the new program that I've got for drawing.
All right. You came up with something else today too.
Mhm.
In AI.
Oh yes, the Delphi AI. Megan, she actually was helping me research it, and it looks like it's a really promising program. I mean, it can make it where there's an AI father fish that you can talk to with video, voice call, or text. And you can it learns by watching your YouTube videos and all the different documents that you upload about the knowledge that you have. So
Yeah,
it's
we
supposed to
have.
be really intuitive. I'm still researching it though, because
Yeah,
just to
I'm
make
really
sure.
excited about it because we want to be able to set up a search engine
Mhm.
using AI
Yeah,
and
this looks like it'll
we'll
do it.
just try to load the entire Father Fish
Mhm.
knowledge base into it. And
It's
we've got a
really
lot. We've got
Mhm.
over 1,000 documents that are
Yeah.
transcribed videos.
Mhm.
I have the 500-page book plus 2,000 videos,
Mhm.
all the live streams. I mean, it just goes. Oh, there's a lot that's we just lost Instagram.
Oops. I don't know why the hour mark it always drops us. It used to be 2 hours.
You want to take that off?
Yeah.
Uh, you can take them both or just the one.
Yeah, I can always restart them.
There it is.
It looks like it's only going to last for an hour though.
Okay, we're not even an hour in. Well, just an hour,
Mm.
not actually an hour.
Yeah, I'm really not impressed with the way Instagram decides to run their streaming service. When I get them reloaded, I think we got Jacob here.
Yeah. Uh, what do you think, guys? Kevin,
Hey guys, how are ya?
good. How are
Hey.
you?
Doing great.
Looking nice.
Yeah, the 75.
I love
Uh,
it. It's some of my favorite fish.
I just got a couple more. I got a younger electric blue acara here,
Yeah.
and then I got this bigger guy.
Got candy canes.
Those are flameback bleeding heart
The
tetras.
flaming cards. Look at that. Yeah. Nice.
They got a red on the back.
That's
Those are
pretty.
beautiful.
Geos. I
Thank
love
you.
the geos. What species of geo are they?
Top
The
Tapajos.
Tapajos. Nice.
These two paired off, and they dug a pit. They dug a pit here.
Yeah. No eggs yet.
There was eggs, and they were holding in their mouth, but I
Oh,
just thought I'd see what they do the first time.
yeah. Well, pull them out and set them up.
I should.
Definitely worth doing.
A female jack. I had to get one. She's doing fine. She gets along with everybody.
Well, she won't be so bad. The males are worse.
Right. Best of them.
I love festivals. An uncommon fish in the hobby. That was one of the first fish that was ever brought into the hobby.
Wow. That's amazing.
Frank Dempsey.
Yeah, the store only had one, or I would have bought more.
Yeah, I always have a few. It's fallen out of favor years ago. I think because it's so easy to ship and so common to catch, and they ship wild.
Right.
It's a very gentle fish.
Then
It's
I
beautiful.
just cleared a bunch of this whole top of my 33 long was all what do you call it?
Frog's bet.
Pennywort.
Anymore, yeah.
I literally couldn't even see in the tank, so I had to clear some bunch out.
Right.
Wow. That's a beautiful
This
setup.
Thank you. I got 3 swordtails, 1 male, 2 females, and I see fry in there.
Oh, nice.
Then I'm breeding white clouds, and I'm throwing them. I'm breeding them in a whiskey barrel, and then I'm throwing them in here. And my school is getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, cool.
But I wanted to show you guys the 120 what I picked up. You're gonna get a kick out of this one.
Oh, wow.
Look at
Red
this.
shoulder Severums.
Wow, nice.
F1s.
That's a great collection of fish. Oh, are they really? Huh.
Yeah, I love them. 2 male and 2 female.
What are the geos?
These geos are the red hump Standacteri.
Is that correct? Yeah, right. Huh.
See the hump there on that male
Yep, yep, sure enough.
starting to come in.
Cool.
But it's hard to pick a favorite fish. But I picked up this turquoise severum and this red rainbow severum. He's still small yet, and I fell in love with severums.
They're really a nice fish. They're not particularly aggressive. They get big and very colorful.
Right. And this is only a 4-foot tank, but it's 24 wide. It's a 120, so I should have plenty of room in there.
Great tank. That's
And
what I thought. Yeah,
I got a bunch of cryptolense that I planted in the back. It's really starting to take off.
nice. Yeah.
They do like to nibble plants, which I know, but so far they haven't been like destroying them.
Well, if you have a lot of them, they won't.
Right,
They may go after one.
right. And then I got the angels in there, and I got 5 of the what do you call it? Fire mouse.
Firemouth, right?
I thought they were neat. So I mean, my stocking in here is pretty. I'm done with cichlids for sure.
Uh,
In this tank, I got the rummy nose,
nice.
and they're leaving them alone so far. So
Nice school.
Yeah, it is.
thanks. But I recently switched to. I ordered some. What do you call that food? Northfin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I got some Bug Pro, and some extreme foods, and I can tell the fish love it, and it's just a good quality food.
It is. It really is.
She's got a little nick on something. I don't know if she hit it on a stick or something.
Right on her forehead. Keep an eye
Right.
on it. Should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
Right.
to infect, put a dot of antibacterial ointment on it.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, those are my new babies.
I love it.
And a real quick glance, this is my 20 long. This is my oldest tank I've had.
Oh,
I got a pair of dwarf curviceps cichlids.
oh really? Oh, how neat. They've not been available for a long time. Have they spawned for you?
They have.
Nice.
I got about 6 or 7 cardinals, and then I got some leftover pistos from other spawn I had.
Oh yeah, sure enough. Oh,
But yeah, this tank is just kind of on autopilot too.
very cool.
I got a lot of the monsteras growing out and pothos coming out the top.
Oh, love it.
Thank you. So yeah, I just thought I'd hop on, and haven't been on in a while.
Appreciate it.
So glad you guys are doing good.
You bet. Take care. Good to see you.
You too. Take it easy.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye. I love the way the plants are growing out of that tank. That
yeah,
is
it's nice.
gorgeous.
Ooh.
I'm gonna see if there's anything in the comments.
Adam's in. Yeah, nice collection of fish.
Yeah, well,
No Africans. Did you notice that?
mm-hmm.
Crystals, pets, and plants. Spardex. Oh, okay. Oh.
Actually, this is a really good question. Why do guppies die so fast?
Because they don't live very long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the same with most live bearers. Tip in the wild, live bearers live about a year. They live long enough to mature, which takes 3 months, and then they'll produce every month for 5 or 6 months, and then they get eaten or get sick or
Mm.
otherwise just die, disappear. They rarely live more than a year. You can keep them alive for two. I know some folks have kept swords for 3 years, but that's pretty uncommon. It's funny. I was thinking about that today in
Yeah.
terms of live bearers, that they, it's normal. It's normal for a live bearer if you have like a guppy tank
Mm-hmm.
and you got plenty of cover in it, so the babies are safe from predation and can grow up. That tank will go through generations, and the bigger ones, the older ones they'll disappear. They'll die and get eaten up,
Mm-hmm.
and that tank will just go on and on. It'll always be full of babies, but they'll always be growing, and it's a kind of a machine. It's just remarkable.
Yeah, it is. I've been noticing that with the first tank that I've set up that was Father Fish method. It's just a guppy tank, and you're right. You just keep getting more and more babies.
Yeah, and then at the other end, the adults are dying off.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, that's what she had. She had a 10-gallon tank.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it when I was a little tiny kid. She had that tank her whole life. As a teenager, I would clean that tank, but she would never do anything to it. Just feed the fish. And I'd go down once a year or so, and I'd clean it out and set it up again. And it was full of guppies, always full of guppies.
Wow.
Never bought any. I mean, they were just, it was a self-replenishing population.
How many years do you think that tank ran for?
I don't know how long she had it before I came along. I never talked to my mother about it to
Mhm.
find out whether it was around when she was a kid. I assume it was. That's funny. I never mentioned that to her. We never talked about that. And it must have been around when she was little.
Yeah.
My grandmother was born in Germany. And of course, Germany was always a big hobbyist city from like the mid 1800s on. Like most European cities and US cities too, for that matter, the hobby was bigger in the late 1800s than it ever was after that.
Wow.
Every city, every major city in the West, in Europe, and
Mhm.
in the US had dozens of clubs in every city. It wasn't just one club. It was dozens of clubs. They were block clubs of fish keepers. It was it when glass was invented, so-called floating glass, which is flat glass. When that was finally perfected to the point where it could be produced in mass. Then not only did we get windows, we got fish tanks. And the fish tanks became just astoundingly popular to the point where everybody who could possibly afford it had a fish tank. No electricity, no electricity.
Wow.
Think of it. No heater, no light, no air pump, no filter. And yet the hobby absolutely exploded in popularity. Now, how in the world did they do that?
That's a really good question because
How
you
did
would
they
think
do
it'd be
that?
impossible.
No electricity, no lights, no heater, no filter, no air pump, no CO2, no
Right.
nothing. Bare glass tank with dirt on the bottom
Mhm.
and plants growing out of it. That's how they did it. And the fish were largely native. They were fish that began to be brought up from Florida and from other more southern climes. Um, mollies,
Mhm.
not guppies initially. Guppies didn't start to come in until around the turn of the century when they were being brought up by ship, by boat.
Wow.
And they had to live on that boat for sometimes 3, 4 months
That's
before
impressive.
before they got into a northern port. The first angels were brought in the 30s. They came up by ship from South America. They were 4 months on that ship. Came to New York City, 1932, I think. They sold for $5,000 a piece.
Whoa.
Angels in 1930.
Wow.
I don't even know what that is in today's dollar.
A
100,
lot.
100,000 maybe,
Yeah,
50,000.
probably.
I don't
Easily.
know. Huge amount of money.
Mhm.
And they were bred. It was a pair. They were bred and they spawned, and they became the foundation for uh, for that part of the hobby.
Mhm.
There was something else that showed up one time. A show in, I think it was in New York again, at a fish show. 6-inch neons.
Now that would be something cool to see.
It showed up one time. There were
Oh,
pictures taken of them, but there was no record of where they came from or who owned them.
wow.
And they disappeared. They were there and they were gone. And and that nobody's ever had them since then. I,
That's
I
wild.
believe I believe that I believe there are large neons and or cardinals
Mhm.
in the river in the Amazon that are probably not plentiful. At that stage, they would be pretty much loners, I would
Yeah.
guess. Just lunkers, fish that have survived and survived, and they're probably 10 or more years old and have
Mhm.
just gotten big.
That'd be really amazing to see one though.
Wouldn't it? Really?
Hey, Chatterbox has an interesting comment. He said if you have a heater on, you can quickly shorten their lifespan. And he's talking about guppies. Does a heater shorten the lifespan of guppies?
Sure it does. Feeding does too.
Mm,
There's plenty of research on that.
mm,
The trick is to be able to maintain
mm,
the fish's health at a stable level
mhm.
um, without burning out its organs. the seminal research has been on mice, overfeeding mice, and overly fed mice tend to die sooner. Any mammal that overeats will burn itself out.
Mhm.
I'm working on it.
No, you're not.
I'm trying not to. It's winter has been just really, really tough. It's really been hard.
Mhm.
Ah, let's see. 7 o'clock. We got plenty of time yet. Plenty time.
Yeah.
Plenty time. John Shane, can you use sand from a beach or a river? Absolutely. The beach sand, you want to go up to the dunes, go up above the tide, um, where tidal intrusion will not affect, and rain will. It'll be clean from rain,
Mhm.
and it's perfect sand. It's clean. River sand is the best because river or creek sand has bacteria in it, so it's live culture. So it's really a very significant value. In fact, when I set up salt tanks, I go out to the Gulf or the Bay, or in this case, the ocean, and collect buckets of sand from out in the water. And that's what I use as the substrate in my salt tank. It's live sand. It's absolutely perfect. That's what that tank is.
Trying to figure it out. I feel you on that. I do it every time.
That's a salt tank.
Mhm.
That's been set up with no water changes for probably 4 months. It's got two schools of fish in it. And the one above it has now just two gold severum and two pike cichlids that are now about 8 inches.
Oh wow.
And they have, it's a pair. They're both pairs. No spawn, but
That's what I was fixing to ask.
I don't know.
Mm.
I probably need to separate them.
Mm.
They're probably afraid to spawn.
They might be.
Could be
Mm.
kind of being held back. I don't know. Oy, 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 oy. What else is going on here?
Jason Rideout has a question. Do you have any suggestions for for making resurrection jars during winter?
Well, it's just really a matter of breaking through the ice because the animals are all there. They're just kind of sleeping. They're in a stupor of a cold stupor.
Right.
Put them in a jar, bring them in, set it on the shelf, and it will all come back.
Good.
Darren, interesting question.
Mhm.
Glad you asked that question. He bought a big mother sword that's doing well, but he's noticing that the outer leaves are kind of disintegrating and it's growing new center leaves. I want to know if
Mhm.
that's normal. Any plant, all plants, every plant
Mhm.
loses its leaves and grows new leaves. There is no plant except one that only lives for one season and then dies. And there are
Mhm.
garden plants and others. like that. Any plant that is continuously growing, perennials, whatever, they lose their leaves because the leaves literally wear out. They lose their ability to do photosynthesis. They're very, they're like a hard working machine. And the harder they work, the more they wear out, and they literally wear out. They also get chewed up by insects, beat up by the weather. I mean, the leaf is disposable. It performs a task, but it is disposed of when it can no longer perform that task, and then new leaves take over and perform that task. So the plant is always growing, always growing. We don't see it so much with potted plants because potted plants tend to hold on to their leaves for a very long time. But eventually, all those outer leaves die.
Yeah, they do.
And are replaced by new leaves. So yeah, it's totally normal. It's the way plants live. So someone says, "Oh, my plants are dying." No, they're probably not. They're probably just losing their old leaves and growing new ones. John says the swords are 2.5 years. Yeah. After eating guppy fins. Well, I need 20 more subs to go live. Chef J Max was like added a breakfast here. Added some plant without watching. What is this? I
Yep.
need 20 more subs to go live. I don't know why they went cloudy. It's because I added some plant without watching it. Doing the Father Fish. I don't understand.
What
How would,
timestamp for that?
how would you wash a plant? I've
Huh?
never washed a plant in my life. Put a sponge filter in it. Can we tell you, Prodigious wants to know if we can tell him what kind of plant he got. Yeah, it's duckweed. He got duckweed. Or hornwort. Could be hornwort.
Yeah.
Jason Road. Looking for a paradise fish. Mike Hawkins is looking for a paradise fish. Be careful what you wish for.
Right?
Prodigious.
Hey.
What's up, guys? Oh, what's up, guys?
Hey there.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? Is that the fish you're curious about? That's a sword.
No, that one in the back is the one I wanted to ask about.
Looks like a sword to me.
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
a type of sword. I'm not sure which type.
Maybe an Amazon sword.
Yeah,
Okay.
it actually looks like the exact same one I've got in my tank, but I'm not sure which type of
Yes,
Amazon
so,
sword it
okay,
is.
here's what happens. This has got, he got this in, it was a tall, it's not an Amazon. It's a, I don't know what, Brazilians or something. It's a sword plant. He got it in, it had long stems with leaves at the top.
Yeah.
started growing. Well, it's not growing as tall as it was. So those tall leaves are all dying off. You could
Okay.
actually trim them, just get rid of them because it's got all new growth at the bottom. So the plant is probably not going to be as tall as it was when you got it.
Okay.
And it may have been that tall because of where it grew. It may have
Oh.
needed to get taller to get to the light or something.
Okay.
So that the fact that these lower leaves are smaller does not
Hmm.
mean that the plant is stunted or that it somehow is going backwards. That's not necessarily true at all. I think
Okay.
I think you'll be happier if you just trim off those stems, the old leaves,
Okay.
trim them
And then
down
it should.
short, and then let the new ones grow up.
Okay. Thank you.
It'll be prettier.
Mhm.
I thought so. I thought so. But I wanted to get a second opinion.
Well, you want to give a third opinion there, Danny?
Hey, if you don't like the look of it, trim it. I like to make my tanks go really natural. It's like I keep my dead leaves in there. My shrimp, my fish, they all enjoy it.
Oh, look. I got a new one, guys.
Oh,
This is our
cool.
new banjo.
Nice.
And then that's the old one. I don't know if you
Mhm.
can see him.
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay.
Oh,
But yeah, I liked it. But then when I brought it home, it started dying on the top. So I
Yeah.
was like, I asked the dude at the
it's
store,
okay.
but sometimes he don't know things.
Yeah,
So,
it's okay. It's
Mhm.
perfectly normal.
Mhm.
okay. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys then.
All right.
Huh?
Thanks
Then make
for
sure to
the
come back and show us next
yeah.
week.
Bye.
Definitely.
So yeah, sometimes a plant will stop. It'll just shut down a leaf because
Mhm.
it's not producing for it.
Mhm.
Mike Hawkins. How are we doing with wrenches here?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of new people in that don't have wrenches
Yeah,
from
nail
all
the
over the
man.
world, from Iraq, India.
Oh well,
Yeah.
just keeping with Matt. See what else. NK Gaming from Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, we got someone new from Australia too.
Right, Iku.
And Lebanon. Wow.
Okay, Iku a wrench. Oh, NK Gaming from India. Add this moderator. Get you a wrench. Richard Simsick. What are your thoughts on high nitrates in fish only saltwater? High nitrates in saltwater. I say they're inevitable. Um, a good control for that is macroalgae.
Mhm.
I like I like macroalgae in salt tanks. We have somebody from, is that Iraq?
Mhm. Yeah. We got people from all over the world tonight.
We do. Hey,
And I love,
darn. Hey,
I love.
darn. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was just gonna mention because you was talking about the macroalgae. I found it works really good in my brackish water tank too.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got a lot of really nice macros in Florida.
Hmm.
I mean, just really pretty stuff. We got ugly old stuff in Maryland.
I'm hoping to get out and do some collecting.
Yeah, you need to send me some when you do.
Hmm.
Well, that's something I really want to get. Montesson, Lolita's peg shrew. Trying to do my best not to overfeed. Well, that's good. That's kind of the best you can do is just control it. That's the real benefit of doing the food web is that it provides natural food and the fish will only eat as necessary. They won't pig out. Do I keep angelfish? I do. I love angelfish. Ooh. We're working on trying to expand the fish room. We find that we're at a level where we can have a lot of stuff, but we can't do a lot with it.
Yeah.
We don't have enough space to be able to put pairs in their own tanks, for example, which I'd love to be able to do in order to get them spawning. So we're working on trying to correct that. We already have plans to build out to rebuild the main fish room and get a bunch of new tanks in it. And
That's gonna be exciting.
then we're going to move out into the warehouse area
Mhm.
with even more tanks. So it's just a matter of getting it all done. I think I got everybody covered now.
I think so.
Mindy, do we have Mindy? We do not.
See, I'm gonna scroll up the chat. We won't know till she comments again. Then we'll know if she's got the wrench.
So Eco wants to know, how do I get my Tetras more comfortable with me? Oh dear. It's an interesting question because
Mhm.
what it points to is there are two ways to do this. You do it by training the fish to come to you when you feed. And the way to do that is to hold the food in the water so they come to your fingers to eat. That gets them comfortable with you. The other way is to do the exact opposite, to have enough natural food in the tank that the fish are behaving in a natural way, regardless of you being around. So I don't know if you're following what I'm saying there, but you can either acclimate your fish to you by bringing them to you, or acclimate your fish to you by being just part of the background where you're of no particular relevance one way or the other. In the one case, you're seeing natural behavior, and the other, you're seeing pet behavior. Depends what you're trying to do, I guess.
That's true. And Mindy did get her wrench, so that's good.
Wonderful. Ooh.
Kevin says it's so fun to feed them by hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Brenda likes that too. The whole staff loves feeding, particularly the African cichlids, because they kind of swarm
Wow.
for the food. Oh, let me deal with this. This in Chatterbox just made an interesting comment
Mhm.
about cycling. Um, what people mean by cycling is creating the nitrate cycle,
Mhm.
which is the ammonia cycle. I don't do that because it happens automatically. Now, it happens if you're putting a lot of plants in the tank and a few fish in a brand new tank. The minute you put the fish in there, they're releasing ammonia in the form of urine into the water. The plants are absorbing it very quickly. They're just sopping it up because they're looking for nutrients, and it's a nutrient, which causes them to grow, allowing them to be able to absorb more of the ammonia. So a few more fish are going to produce more, which will have the same effect. So the more biology you add to the system by doing it gradually, so that when you add it, you're not overwhelming the existing system, but are simply creating an impetus for it to grow to meet demand, or grow to meet demand. So you're increasing the nitrification, if you will, and every other process for that matter. That's only one of 1,000 processes. We got all hung up on nitrates. Nitrates are inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. I mean, they're one of a virtually infinite variety of biochemical processes that are going on all the time. So there's this immense cauldron of activity that's bubbling up, but it's starting very small. And so you need not to overwhelm it by putting so much nutrients in. It's going to kill everything. You start slow and it gradually builds. And it builds bigger and bigger. It's able to handle more and more biological activity. And that's what putting more and more fish in each week does. It increases the ability of the system to deal with the added biological activity. And if you're doing it gradually enough, the biological activity is not overwhelming the existing um, food web, the existing biological activity, but rather is feeding it and allowing it to increase to be able to deal with a larger volume of nutrient. So if you kind of get this picture, it teaches you that what you do in a natural tank is you very slowly and gradually add to it in order to increase the biological activity in the system. And eventually you get it to the point where it's a fully active dynamic environment able to handle a great deal of biological activity. Well, they couldn't do that all at once.
Mm-mm.
You have to do it gradually and slowly.
And we had a question a minute ago if you could actually have the father fish method substrate in a 5-gallon aquarium. Yes, I've got it all the way down to just a little jar. That's what a resurrection jar kind of is in a way.
Right.
But I've got 2 of them down there. That's 1 gallon.
Guppies, um, guppies can survive in pretty cold water. They can survive in water in the 50s, probably not much lower than that. You could keep guppies in 60 to 70, certainly house temperature, whatever your house temperature is going to be fine. It's a fish that does not require temperature unless it's a highly selectively bred fish. And some of these guppies have been bred for so long in such detailed environments that genetically they can't handle much in the way they lose tolerance. So wild guppies become an alternative to that because they're going to be able to tolerate colder and warmer temperatures.
Vernon Miles says that he said, I'm going to try to come down to the shop on Saturday. My son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter were in there on last Saturday. They got some Africans from him.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. We had a mob in Saturday. There must have been 50 people in. It was kind of
Wow.
amazing. We're getting people in every day now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting to pick up. Lacato's pet through asking about planaria. He's got them in the same tank as the shrimp. There's only one species of planaria that harms shrimp, and that's the one with the diamond head. So if that's what you have, frankly, I would take my breeder shrimp out and put some fish in there, like bettas, to clean out the planaria. You could try poisons, but that has residual effects and it's going to affect the shrimp. You may lose a crop of babies doing that, but I think if I had a serious problem with planaria, that's what I would do. Short of breaking the tank down, which becomes the other option, of course. But bettas and guppies, there are a lot of fish that'll eat planaria. Yeah, for the winter resurrection jar, just break through the glass. Go break through the ice and collect a little bit, and it'll be fine. I'm way behind here. Let me get down to the bottom. Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot. Vernon Miles said, I'm looking for Central and South Americans. I think he's talking about the cichlids.
Yeah. Centrals are beasts.
Yeah.
Here's 3G, and let's see what his angels look like. Oh my.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
I just came up to take up some space.
Hey,
Nice. Look at this.
oh, that's those pearl scales.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Oh, those are my favorites, the pearl scales. I love them. They're
I
just
got a I got an
beautiful.
echo, y'all.
Yeah, you do.
I love that tank. Oh, more guppies. I love the fin on the male. That is really beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. What type of guppies are those, 3G?
These are Chibol Green.
Those are nice. Have you gotten any fry from them yet?
Lots, lots of fry. I have a whole
Oh, that's
tank.
awesome. Oh, yeah, you've got quite a few in there.
Nice.
That is looking good. There's
And I
so many
like those
babies in there.
crits.
That's a 20 high.
Nice crop of crips down there.
Mainly grow
Oh,
out.
yeah.
With these are grow out also. They was born June 2nd.
Wow. Those are some beautiful angels, too.
Wow.
I love the coloration on their
The
fins.
blue smokies. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Bulgarian,
are wow.
Bulgarian steel point.
Bulgarians, right. Nice.
55-gallon deep stuff too.
I love how their fins crest. They just seem to crest up much higher than a normal angel.
Yeah, they're thicker fins.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But I wasn't sure.
I guess that's the steel point.
Right.
Mhm.
All right, well I'm gonna back on out of here. I got a bad delay. I can't hardly understand what's going on. I appreciate y'all having me up.
Hey, thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming up.
3G, very much.
3G has some of the most beautiful angels I've ever seen.
Really. Salient Aquatics is here. Hey, Salient. Good to see you. He's been doing some dynamite videos lately. Really exciting stuff. Make sure you check out Salient's channel if you haven't. He's doing some really brilliant work, uh, and is doing it in a way that's very entertaining, and kind of unusual. So I mean, he was actually crawling around on the floor recently.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get over there and check his videos out.
Nice stuff. Monteson says, I learn a lot with you, Father Fish. You say things I've never heard before. Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Mhm.
I know I do that.
And he's
Um,
from Brazil. Wow.
and you know what? A lot of that is stuff I heard as a kid or as a young man uh, around old time fish keepers,
Mhm.
guys who have been in the hobby either as hobbyists or as professionals for years and years. 70, 60 years ago, 50, 60 years ago. when I was in my 20s and 30s, I hung around with these guys, and they love to talk about the hobby. I don't know, I retained it, but not in a way that it's encyclopedic. It's in a way that kind of gets triggered. When something comes up, I'll find myself saying something that's related to what I heard way back when. Ooh, love to you from Brazil. I'd love to go to Brazil. I would
That would
thoroughly.
be cool.
It's a big country.
Hmm.
Brazil is immense. I don't.
Dana said, "Thank you, Father Fish, for the video on how to make a forever worm culture. I'm giving it a go. Very clever."
Nice. Let's see. Ricardo, I think, does not have a wrench. Does not. From Colombia.
Preston has a question. Is it okay to not put fish in for the first 2 to 3 weeks of setting up my FF tank?
Well, it's okay. I don't do that. I put fish in right away because I cycle the tank with fish. That's what I was explaining earlier. By putting a few fish in right away, you're providing nutrients for the plants and you're building the biomass. So you get that happening much more quickly. Obviously, you can't overwhelm it. I mean, for example, if you throw 50 fish in a tank, a brand new tank, and they're all peeing and pooing, they're going to create so much ammonia that nothing will be able to deal with all of it, and it'll wind up killing them. It'll foul everything. So you got to be sensible about it and understand that you build these things gradually, not all at once. And I've seen people do that. I've seen people, you know, now here, all right, check this out. Years ago, Merle Cohen set up a saltwater tank at the city fair. This was before the aquarium was built. He had a 55-gallon tank. Set the tank up, brought the water in, dumped the water in, bare bottom tank, and then had boxes of fish, dumped the fish in, hooked up with a cycling pump to cycle the water. There were probably 20 large saltwater fish in there. And they lived the entire week in that tank. He never fed them once. If he had fed them one time, they would have all died. But he had purged them before he brought them in. So they were not going to produce any waste. He put them in the tank, left them in there. A week was not too long without eating. They were big enough fish that they had fat reserves to be able to survive that. They lived for a week. He took them home, took them back to his. He had a huge wholesale operation. Took them back to that, put them in the vats and fed them up, and they were fine. Charles Fitzgerald the third. How
Yeah,
are
how's it
you?
going, guys?
Nice to see you.
How do I switch the camera to show the tank?
You can just turn it around
Or if you're on an iPhone, this can work too.
like that.
No, I'm on a Galaxy S21.
There is a
Not
button
sure.
on it.
Let me see. Webcam. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. It says more here. I'm trying to switch it here. Well, if I do this, what do you see?
That works. We can see it.
Yeah, but you can't see me now, right?
Nope, can't see ya.
Yeah, so
Okay,
this tank's
full screen. That's perfect.
been running probably 3 years now.
Oh,
Nice.
that's nice. Is that a
It's
turtle
got-
I see?
You do. That's a razorback musk turtle, and there's also a three-striped mud turtle in here.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's also some white
Yeah.
clouds in here, some carry tetras, and also pick this catfish, but he's hiding right now, I guess. Yeah, he's over here.
Oh, wow.
The razorback, he's going in the back right now.
Love it.
Nice.
Yep. I have a couple more if you want to see them.
Sure.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Massachusetts, Taunton, Massachusetts.
Where in Mass?
Taunton. And here's my wife, Tanya's. That is a full-fledged Father Fish Aquarium bowl right now. So that's the running.
Love it.
Mhm.
Can you see it?
I can.
Yep, we can see it good.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of guppies in there, some anglerfish, fish nose plecos. That's been running since May of last spring.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
got a
it
bamboo
is.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I show a couple more?
You bet.
Okay. Hold on. This one's run probably about 4 years now. That's a 38-gallon.
Oh, very cool.
That's a mother Amazon sword plant. It's got the babies that's growing on it.
Yep. Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
It's got 2 Savannah cichlids in there and a featherfin catfish way back there.
Oh, cool.
Usually it come out if I come up to the tank, but they're not coming out right now. They like hiding in the plant now. The girth on that plant, it's amazing how big that plant is.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's probably 2 or 3 plants grown together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a couple resurrection jars right here.
Oh, nice.
Those have been running since last spring as well. And then that is a Father Fish aquarium jar.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This left jar has a bunch of life in it. Isopods, copepods, but the right one, not so much. There's a bunch of leaves in there, some almond leaves in there as well.
Yeah.
And every so often I keep putting them in all the tanks little by little. So
Oh, cool. Very good.
I got one more to show you and that's it.
All right.
This one right here.
Wow.
So that's all Sagittarius back there. It just exploded. And that's an Amazon sword that's been in there for a while. This thing's been running probably 3 years now. Got a cherry barb. It's got 2 featherfin catfishes in it. One has to come out because he's getting too big. It's got a Bristol's pleco and a bamboo shrimp.
Nice.
And that's all scripts right in the front here.
That's a gorgeous cherry, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's been in there.
it really
He's been in
is.
there. Yeah, all the others died a while back. He's been in there since the tank's been set up.
Wow. Yeah.
He's bright red.
He's pretty.
So let me ask you, do you think if I put more cherry barbs in it, because he's been in there such a long time by himself, do you think he'll fight the other cherry barbs? What do you think?
I think it'll be fine. They're not particularly aggressive.
I didn't think so. All right.
I think it'd be all right.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to tell you about. I'm the guy that printed the book up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's right here.
All right.
Wow.
Tommy showed me a picture of that.
Yeah. So it's just It was worth doing it. It's in very heavy duty paper inside of sleeves, so it doesn't get ruined.
How that was. Oh, it's
Uh,
beautiful.
yeah, it cost me about $100 to do it, but
I'll
it was
bet.
worth it. It was worth it.
Wow, that's impressive. We are going to get it published.
Right.
We're trying to settle on a publisher now. I think we got one that will work with us, so we
Okay.
can continue selling the ebook, and then be able to sell. We'd be able to buy copies and resell them at a pretty good profit. So
Okay.
trying to
So
find ways to, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I still have the PDF on the computer, so if I ever need to reference anything, I can look on the computer. So
Well, thank you so much, Charles. Delighted to meet you. I guess you met a bunch. You met a bunch of the guys before me.
yes. Yep. But I've been following you for a while now, so
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. See you guys. See you, Dina.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. There you are.
Oh, happy to meet him.
Oh, definitely. He has some really nice tanks. I love his setup for his turtles. He just gave me a few ideas for my setup.
Yeah. 3G.
Oh, looks like we got fishy.
Yeah, let's see what he's got to say. Hey.
That's the pink angels, isn't it?
Yeah, I forgot to show them to Miss Dina. I'll come back
Oh, right.
real quick.
I love those.
Nice.
Those, I would love to see those in pearl scale. Wait a minute, that is one.
That is a pearl
Isn't it?
scale right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got to get some of those. I've got to set up more tanks.
Right. That's stunning.
Oh,
That's quite a mix of angels, isn't
it
it?
is.
Yeah.
Breeder.
It's a beautiful mix.
Yeah,
you
these
plan
are
on-
some of my grow outs I put in there to keep the glow angels company.
All right.
Do you plan on breeding the pink glow angels?
If they will, yes, ma'am.
That's gonna be fun to watch their fry grow up.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, there's a young lady here in my town that has bred them, and she had 2 survive.
The Ultims?
So I got my fingers crossed.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Ah. What are we doing here? We got about 5 minutes.
Yep, about. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the glowfish genetics is gonna work, because Richie
should be
has so many
true.
different types of
That should
angels.
be true, yeah.
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 Let's see.
Meek, what's Meek talking about? Something dying.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, trying to figure out. Let's see.
I have a 6-year-old Tetra who's dying. Is there anything I can do to make her death easier? You know, I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, if a fish, I don't really believe that fish feel pain in any meaningful way. If they did, it would be a horror show being a fish, because they exist to be eaten.
Yeah.
Virtually every fish is food for a bigger fish. And that's just not an occasional thing. That's what they're there for. They're produced in such large quantities in order to be eaten. If they were not eaten, they would overpopulate the environment.
That they would.
They literally are born and grow to be food.
Mhm.
I'm not suggesting that they're particularly aware of that, but I have to believe that there are considerations for animals that live in that kind of a context. Dana Cock is here. Hey, Dana.
Hey, Father Fish. Hi, Dina.
Hey.
How are
So,
you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Wonderful. Good
Good.
to see you.
Well, I wanted to show you my new tank that I set up for my little beta.
Oh, nice. Oh,
So,
my.
That's beautiful.
How
yeah,
about
what a dandy. I've been working with this little
Mhm.
fish, and yeah, got my plants going.
Oh, my.
So, happy,
Very nice.
happy fish here.
You bet.
Happy.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks happy. Absolutely.
I'll show you my angel, but I'm not quite the caliber of the last gentleman. But this is my
Ah, not
my
bad.
angel.
Look at the
So
koi. That is
Mhm.
brilliant red. That's
Yeah, it
nice.
is.
what
Yeah.
a dandy, huh? So
Oh, yeah.
she's getting nice and meaty. Well, I believe it's a she. I'm learning from your videos.
Right. Yeah, I think
I
so.
I don't see quite a hump, so
Right.
um but yeah, and then I have my beautiful pearls. Those are officially now my favorite fish. So
Ah,
I can't wait for them to color up. This is just a temporary tank. Those guys will need more space.
Pearl Larry's, yeah, very pretty fish.
Yeah, I just love them. I think they're just majestic. So yeah, these are my little buddies down here. So yep. So
Nice, Dana.
yeah,
Very
any
nice.
thank you. Yeah, any advice on angelfish? I've just, bloodworms. I did try your culture, so I'm working on learning how to do that.
Well,
Where
I think whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
well, right on. I this was one of my first tanks. I probably put a little too much sand, but like you said, more is better than not enough. So,
Yeah, oh, that's true. No, it looks great.
well, thanks. And
It does.
you guys know I still have my big tank.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, my whole house is starting to.
Look like an
Yeah.
aquarium.
Oh
Right.
yeah. So yeah, I have quite a few now, so I'm excited. So
Wonderful. Where do you live, Dana?
I'm in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
So yep.
Are you
Well, it's
cold out there?
yeah, actually today, it was a little warmer, so that was nice. But yeah, we still, we had quite a snow recently, and
You
so
did.
starting to dissipate. So
Good.
yeah. Well, I won't
Thanks,
keep
dear.
everybody.
Happy to see you.
Yeah,
Bye.
good to see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
God bless you guys.
God bless
Bye.
you.
Nice. Well, we're there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize we was.
We've done it again, haven't we?
Love my little fishes as they swim about.
Good night, everyone.
I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Good night.
When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world over,
Good night, all.
but never found
Good night.
Love you all.
Love y'all.
that comes from watching my fishies as they swim about their home.
My
heart is happy and I am
Couldn't hear ya.
to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.